And I wasn't going to live dig this because I got skunked on the last one. But, looky.
Really?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my Hey guys, off on a solo hunt today. Joss is off at church with the kids and the family, and I decided to come and hit this lovely cornfield. They finally started to pull the crops out of the field, so we're going to get to do a little more detecting in places that we want to do. We've hit this field before. We've had some really good luck in this field. Coppers, old coins, old buttons. There was a home site here, which is no longer there. But I'm going to hit a different area of the field today and see if anything kind of moved its way around and see what we come up with. So today I'm going to be using the Garrett AT Pro with the 10x13 Mars Tiger coil. So let's give it a shot and see what we can come up with. And I'll get back to you if I come up with anything. All right, so a couple things to look out for when you're out in a farm field. Number one, keep your eyes open for arrowheads. In a field like this, I'm seeing a lot of quartz. Now, I don't think there was any Native American activity on this particular site, but it doesn't hurt to look because quartz is one of those minerals that they used quite prolifically to make arrowheads around here. It's a very standard stone to find. But one of the other things you want to look for is pottery. You want to look at the field. If you're not sure if you're in the home site area, look for pottery, look for shards. And I spotted one right now, and I'll give you a quick eyeball view of it. I don't think it's anything special, but we'll take a quick peek and I'll show you something to look for. So just sticking right out right here, get a piece of redware pottery. It's got that nice glaze on the inside, no glaze on the outside. Typical 1800s pottery, something to keep your eyes open for when you're out in the field. And besides the iron that you're going to, patch of iron that you might come across, the pottery itself is going to help you identify an old site where there could have been a home or a log cabin or something to that effect. So keep your eyes open for this stuff, and if you start finding it, slow down because there could be some good coins and good relics on that site. Catch you in a bit. Alright, so I got my first really good 81 signal. It's repeatable. I'm back in the area where we were finding a lot of coppers and Indian head pennies, and Jocelyn had got her 3-cent piece out of this spot. I'm going to attempt a live dig. I'm going to show you what it's coming up on the machine and tell you how I have my machine set today, so you guys can kind of get an idea for exactly what I'm doing here. So let's take a quick look. So first things first, I've got the machine set in Pro Zero. I have the iron disc set at 35 with the iron audio on. I like to listen to everything. I don't care what anybody says. I like to hear it all. I have my sensitivity set at 3 down from the top because too much sensitivity is never good. It will cause you to false, it will pick up multiple targets, and depending on the mineralization of the ground, it can really mess with you. So too much sensitivity is not necessarily a good thing. So I've got mine 3 bars from the top right now. Now the signal I've got, I'm getting a solid 80-81, which is usually a penny signal. And it's locking in on 81. So 80, 81, 82. So we got something good here. Let's dig it out. Let's see what it is, and we'll find out together. So let's do it. I'm going to do this one by hand. I'm not going to use the shovel because it's just way too much of a pain in the butt. So let me pinpoint this real quick, and we'll dig it out together. All right. Now, one thing you can try and see if it's shallow is you can use your pinpointer. I use the Garrett Pro Pointer AT. This one happens to be with the Z-Link wireless, but I don't have the wireless set up on the machine. However, it still sounds and works just like a normal pinpointer. Okay, so the target's fairly shallow, and it's right there. So let's see. There's a lot of rock and quartz in the ground here. Alright, so whatever it is out of the hole and in this clump. So it can't be very big, so let's see what it is together. And there it is, right there. It is a penny. Or a cent. Let's see what kind of cent it is. Is it a good cent? Or is it a foul cent? It is not a cent. It is a dime. It is a clad modern dime. Well, pooh. That's disappointing. Especially when you're pulling colonial coppers out of a site. That's really disappointing. Can't win every time. I mean, you always got to dig some kind of junk. I mean, and that's junk. So, but we'll throw it in the pile. We'll throw it in the tumbler at the end of the year and cash it all in and buy something fun with it. So, but if I get anything else good, I'll get back with you. Catch you on the next one. I just can't win. I mean, like, I literally just can't win. I just dug that clad dime right there, and I'm going to pan over, and I wasn't going to live dig this because I got skunked on the last one. But, looky, looky, big copper disc. Oh, it's a copper. What is it? I hope it's a largie. Now I'm going to do something that's really going to irritate the snot out of everybody. I'm going to rub the dickens out of this on my pants. And you know what? It's my coin, and I don't care. I want to know what it is. And it's a large cent. Yes! I knew there was more here. I told Jocelyn there was more here. And there is. When we get that cleaned up, I'll get you some good pictures of it. We'll try to get a date off of it. It looks to be a little bit larger size, so it's probably going to be a bit earlier. So once I get that cleaned up, I will show you exactly what that is and what the date is. But I'm rethinking this whole live digging thing. And maybe I just will never live dig. I mean, this just literally not even 2 feet away, measurement wise, and clad dime and a large cent. So I'm happy. That's awesome. If I dig nothing else today, nothing good, I don't care. I'm happy. So I'll catch you on the next one. Got a good target. It was reading in the mid to high 50s. Decided to dig it because it's been a while since I've dug a good target. So let's take a quick peek. I think what I got here is a musket ball. So that's always a good score. Let's take a peek together. So right there, I think that's what we've got. Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. And not only that, but it has a little sprue on it, which means it was hand cast. So that's pretty cool. So somebody actually made this one by hand. I like that. It's a good sign. So we're going to keep going and see if we come up with anything else. Catch you on the next one. Something else I want to tell you too. Watch where you're walking. Watch where you're kneeling in these fields, because you just never know when you might run across a little mud buddy. That's what I like to call him. He's a little mud buddy because it looks like mud, but it ain't your buddy. Watch out for the field poo. Alright, I'm digging some of the iron signals today. The good targets are really not really, there's not that many of them. They're far and few in between. Jocelyn and I have like we've pounded this field pretty good. But I did get something here cool that's iron. I'll clean it up when I get back to the house. We'll see what it is. But I'll give you a look real quick. It's either an old pocket knife. I'm thinking possibly, because I see maybe part of an old blade, but it could also be a utensil handle. And we were finding a lot of pewter utensils out here, and the iron utensils are just as old. So we'll give this, we'll throw this in the pouch. I will clean this up, take a look and see what it is, because sometimes the iron relics are just as cool as the non-iron relics. But we'll catch you on the next one. To dig or not to dig, that is the question. Sometimes you're out in a field or a pasture, usually a pasture, and you get a good signal, and it's questionable if you want to dig it or not because it's under a big cow patty. Well, today I got a good signal with a berry buddy right here. Right here's a good signal, and we got all kinds of herbs and berries and fun stuff laying right there that something left behind for us. So to dig or not to dig? Well, we'll carefully dig this one. I'll even live dig it, because I know it's going to be poo, just like the pile of poo next to it. But that's okay. We're just going to kick that poo off to the side and hope we don't get any in the hole. And that's why I'm wearing gloves today. Oop, it's out of the hole, and I see it already. I've been getting a ton of these. Old shotgun head stamp. But you know what? You got to clear these out, just like you got to clear out some of the iron and some of the other trash, because this could have been a button. Very well could have been a button. So you just never know. On to the next one. Alright, so I'm not sure what this is, but it's kind of cool. It's got some ornateness to it. So I'll give you a quick shot of this real quick. Sounded a lot better than I expected it was going to be. I thought it was going to be maybe another copper or something, as loud as it was. But I don't know. Take a look. Ah, I'm dropping things. Where'd it go? There it is. I'm not quite sure what it is or what it's off of, but it's fancy. So I'll put it in the pouch, I'll clean it up, and when I get everything done and ready to go for a wrap-up, I'll show you what it cleaned up and looked like. Looks like it's got some sort of an attachment on the end, probably some sort of piece of decorative brass, but it's old, so we'll throw it in the pouch, we'll check it out, and I'll let you know what I come up with. Catch you in a bit. This is kind of cool. We've been finding a lot of this kind of stuff here on this particular site. Something to look out for to give you a rough estimate on the age of the site. Let's take a quick peek. It's nothing uber spectacular, but it definitely helps date the site. So here we got a portion of a pewter utensil or pewter spoon handle, and right here is probably where it attached to the bowl. You can see it's flattened out a little bit, and it's definitely without a doubt pewter. And some of these, if you get the bowls, you can look at where they attached, and you can actually date them a lot better. But that's all that is out of this hole here. It's kind of cool. I like finding pewter. Pewter's good. Pew pew. Oftentimes we ask ourselves why. Why do the coins come out looking so god awful? And it depends on the site. Now, when you get down into the south, in some areas you've got real sandy soil. New Jersey, you've got real sandy soil. But here in this area, we've got a lot of real heavy clay, so it retains water. So when you're in a field after it's rained, and you see all that puddle build up, that's why your coins coming out of sites like this don't look as nice as when they're coming out of a loam in a forest up in the New England area around a cellar hole. The clay just holds all that water in, and that water over 150, 200 years is going to corrode the snot out of all your coins. Now, silver doesn't corrode like copper does, but you get the idea. So if you're wondering why your coins look like crap, blame it on water and blame it on clay soil. So that's part of it. The other part too could be the chemicals that they're using in those fields. Anhydrous ammonia is an awful chemical, and it is really detrimental to relics and coins. So learn a little bit about your field before you get into it, because if you're wondering, wow, why does this look so awful, that might be the answer. It could be because you're in a heavy clay, water-soaked area, or you're hunting a field that's full of anhydrous ammonia. Even in pastures, the animal urine will damage the coins and relics as well. It's got ammonia in it, so, and that's not good for the coins over a couple hundred years. So if you're ever wondering why, now you know why. And here's where the little rainbow goes across the screen and it says, "The more you know." So catch you in a little bit. Alright, so it's that time of day. It's wrap up time. I got to get back to the house. She's already working on getting the kids lunch. We got to do some grocery shopping today and pick up some stuff for dinner tonight. So give you a quick wrap up of some of the things that came out of this field today, and maybe I'll insert some still shots after everything's a little cleaned up. Maybe not. I don't know, but we'll definitely take a look right now. So, lot of iron. I'm not even pulling all the small stuff out, but just tons and tons and tons of iron in this field. I even found My Little Pony's horseshoe. Isn't that precious? My Little Pony. Shotgun head stamps, plenty of those. Lots and lots and lots of those. They sound like buttons. You got to dig them. Keeper stuff. This I didn't film, but I think this is off of a like a pair of overalls or bibs. This is like the rivet part, kind of like what I got going on here. This one just happens to be much older. And it's got a little bit of fancy ornate design to it. We'll hang on to it for a little while. We'll clean it up. Hand cast musket ball. This is pistol size. This is a smaller one, which is kind of cool. Get that cleaned up. Either a pocket knife or a utensil handle. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm leaning towards pocket knife just because of the way this piece is sticking up right here. And that could have been where the blade was. So, but we'll get that cleaned up and checked out. Pewter utensil, most likely off of a spoon. Just the tail end of it off the handle where it would have attached to the bowl. Another little fancy piece that I got to clean up. I'm not quite sure what this is off of. I don't know. Once I get it cleaned up, we'll get a closer look. It might wind up in the scrap bucket. And the best find of the day, a little bit of copper. Love that. Now, I'm probably not going to do a whole lot to this just because it looks like the crust is giving it the detail. I will toothpick it a little bit, see if I can't get a definite date off of it. It looks like it's 1830 something. And be back shortly with the end results on this, and I'll give you some information on large cents, because I know you guys like the coin facts. So be back in a little bit with that. But other than that, it was a good day. It was a good couple hours out. I needed it. It's kind of like therapy, dirt therapy. And oh, there's Jocelyn now. She's wondering where I'm at. So I got to get going. But I'll give you a follow-up on the large cent with the date and what it looks like once I've got it cleaned up. So just remember, it doesn't matter what machine you use. Just get out and have fun. Get out and find your treasure. Catch you later. Hey everybody, as promised, I'm back with a little bit of coin information for you. So today in my video, I dug a really neat looking large cent, and I was so super stoked about that because, honestly, it was probably the best find of the day for me. Totally excited, totally happy with that. If I'd have dug nothing else the rest of the day, that would have been totally alright. But let's get on to some information, and I want to show you a publication that I use to give me my information. This is a red book on United States coins. First thing is I like the large print edition because it's got big pictures, big letters, and I can see everything real nice and easy. And I also like the spiral bound edition because I can flip it over and go, instead of bending the spine on a hardback book, I like the spiral bound. Now, bear in mind that the pricing in this book is not going to be completely accurate to the current market prices. Now, this says 2016 on the cover. That means that this edition was printed in 2015 and the pricing was gathered in 2014. So some of your coins are based on gold and silver, and you have to look at the market price from 2 years before the date on the cover. Don't ever buy and sell coins through the prices in this book. Always just refer to the current market if you have to, and look online, do some research. But the blue book is going to be the closest. So the same company that puts this out, Whitman Publishing, they also do a blue book, and the blue book is going to be more accurate on what you guys should be buying and selling coins based on. But this thing is where you get your information. Phenomenal book on information. Every detector should have one in their arsenal, no questions asked. So what we're going to talk about is these Liberty head, specifically the matron head large cents. These were struck 1816 to 1835, and here's one of the things. They have a diameter of 28 to 29 millimeters. When they switched over to the later designs, they reduced the diameter to 27.5 millimeters. So you can easily tell by the size, even if you can't make out the date on it, what generation it is. So this is some helpful information. Now, one of the other things that you can do with this is this will tell you and help you figure out what some of the better coins are. If you're looking at the values and you see 25, 20, 20, boom, you got 35. So that tells you that that particular coin is a little bit better than the rest of the average ones. So again, every detectorist should have a red book. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can get these through Amazon, you can get them through Barnes & Noble, you can get them at your local coin shop. There are tons of places that you can buy them. You don't need the latest edition. They run right around $15, $16 for the normal small size version. The large print is a $30 book. It's a little more expensive, but I prefer having the large print and the large size. So it's a good tool to have if you don't know what you're looking at and you want to learn a little bit more about coins. This will encompass everything from pre-colonial through colonial to U.S. mint struck, all the way up to the current year coins that are listed in this book. So knowledge is power, and you got to have some of that too. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. New videos are going to be coming out every week, and maybe I might throw an educational one in between here and there. So catch you on the next one. Don't forget, get out and find your treasure. See you later.
Sit, Julie, sit. Good, Julie.